on Twitch, the Twin Flame Witch, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please like, subscribe, and watch my videos. I hope you enjoy my channel. I just seen a little mess over here. It looks like selenite does. Okay, so what we're doing is the moon phases, and this one's a little different. Like last time we just done waning. This time we're doing a few different ones because it goes into new cycles. So we are going to start with the 11th. Friday the 11th was this card. And 27 equals 9. Okay, so this is the waning crescent 4, and it's release. Okay, so let it go. It is time to release anything that does not serve you. Old negative habits do not engage you anymore, as the payoff is not enough. You are ready to make room for bigger, brighter, more aligned things. I freely release what I no longer need. In magic, in particular in spellcraft, the art of release after raising power is vital to its effectiveness. Should we raise power without sending it out to the universe or deities in a focused way, it remains stagnant or stuck. This can cause us to feel overwhelmed. The stone is smoky quartz. This is today's card. 28. That equals 10, so it'll be a 1. You got to break it down. But you can use numbers like 11 and 22 sometimes. They're master numbers. Like my life path and life purpose numbers are both 11. They're master numbers. Okay, so this this card, it's where this face is the waning crescent 5. Okay, it's peace. So peace of mind is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. Refuse drama and do not freely engage with people who use drama as a weapon. Stop fighting. Allow yourself to rest for a while. When we let what we no longer need go, we make room for peace. I choose to create and hold peace. I allow this to ripple out into the world. We can be more focused and mindful about what we are doing in real time. We can place ourselves deliberately in sessions in quiet, beautiful, peaceful environments. We can learn what, for us, brings our body rest and peace. We can choose to not do the head miles of worry. Worry is, after all, chewing gum for the mind. Not really nutritious in any way, but something to do. When we let go of what we no longer really need, peace floods in, taking up this old space and healing it. The stone is amethyst. Sunday the 13th. Starts a whole new cycle. So 1 obviously means 1, and that's new beginnings. So it's the dark moon, the void, and that's right before a new moon. Your time to rest and reset is here. Release all that does not serve you. Stop resisting. The void is a time of possibility and not just darkness. There's nothing to fear in letting go of negative patterns and habits, so let go of the old. I freely release what I no longer need. If you find yourself resisting the dark moon, it is usually a clear sign that you are being stubborn about letting go of something that is old and not serving you in a positive way any longer. Often that is a fear or pattern that was created to protect you in some way. However, now it is outdated, yet you are still carrying it or acting it out. Know that this moon is powerful, but it is also incredibly gentle in the way it helps you unravel what actually is so you can embrace the fresh start of tomorrow. Relax, reframe, and think about how much better your life will be without that bad habit, fear, or pattern. Get very clear about the possibilities of this transformation and what it will give you in real terms. This is the power of the dark moon. It is the optimum time in the cycle to release the old and cut the cords of relationships and traumas that deserve no time and attention in your present. The stone is jets. This phase is very important. This is 2, the new moon. On the 5th or the 7th of January, I do believe, we're going to be discussing numerology, and we'll discuss that. It also goes, unless we do it before when I'm teaching you tarot, but I think that that's the date. Don't quote me on it, but we're going to discuss what the numbers mean, okay? And if you know anything about me, I'm very, okay, a lot of people don't like to hear people say this about themselves, but I'm very smart, okay? And I don't know what it is, but I am addicted to numbers. It is not something I can control. It has something to do with my past lives, I'm sure, my gifts, but I'm addicted to numbers, and that's what controls me. Like, everything. I'm looking at numbers, time, numbers. This is what I do all day. So anyway, as you know, this is beginnings, but I was saying that one was beginnings too, but that's what the meaning of one is beginnings. Okay. So you are offered a fresh start. Your journey is beginning. Take the first steps towards something new. It is time to place emphasis on your health and well-being. That is very important. Accept and rejoice in renewal and beginnings. Whether we are asking for a fresh start in relationships or a new love, or are heralding the actioning of intentions such as better health, a new business, or the start of a new project, riding the new moon energy will assist us. Many creative people start new works on a new moon, and I personally, as an author, like to begin all my new works on this moon phase. Even if beginning means simply typing up a cover page or outline, the most powerful of new moons for new starts traditionally are within the season of spring. The stone is celestine. And the author of this is from Rockpool Publishing. When I get published, I want to be published by Llewellyn and Rockpool. That's my favorites, or US Game Systems. Anyway, Stacey DeMarco. I talk about Stacey DeMarco, and I'll eventually have all her decks, but I didn't realize how much I love Stacey DeMarco until recently. I have her, you gotta, if you can find it, hey, I will tell you who has this, okay? Contact me if you need this book. I know who has it, okay? She's the only person I can find it from. I can't even find it online anymore, like it's gone. But if you've watched my videos and you have seen my 2021 agenda book, it's by Stacey DeMarco. It's amazing, like the best one you can find. I've looked at all of them they have. Let me know and I will get you in touch with Miss Malia, okay? All right, so like I said, that stone is celestine. If I'm not mistaken, this was the day that I was born on. Okay, it's the day after a new moon. If not, it's like the next day. But anyway, I have a thing with threes, so I'm pretty sure it's this one. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But anyway, realization. And I used to get this card a lot when I first got this deck. This is an amazing deck. Anyway, as you can see, it's the waxing crescent one. So we have already gone into 3 phases now. We have, well, we've done waning, and then we've done the new we've done the new moon, and then now we're going into waxing. So we're on the crescent. So that's how it works. You go out of a crescent back into one. Well, excuse me, we will discuss that at a further date. But realization. With self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is important. I have timely self-awareness and act upon my realizations. Okay, so the realization that we have a pattern, a bad habit, or a behavior that is causing us pain is a powerful position, even though we may feel worry and pain around this discovery. We can then take personal responsibility to change our situations since we know our current position. Knowing ourselves more completely enables us to accept ourselves more readily and to dare to love exactly who we are. And before I get to that stone, I want to explain something to you. This is what I started going through last year, and the next phase that comes with it, those is what I really went through. And I see people around me going through this now. And what it is it's shadow work, okay? You got to work with your issues, man. You got to. It's the only way it's going to get better. You can't be a better person and go through better things unless you see your problems, accept it, and try to work on it. You know, the first step is, you know, realizing it. So anyway, that stone is aventurine. I have the stones out here, but there was 1 or 2 I didn't have, and I don't know if you see them, but the amethyst was under the card. I just I know I don't have celestine. There may have been one other one I didn't have, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was the only one I didn't have. I wanted to show, like, pull it out and be like, this is the stone, you know, and like put it in front of, there's aventurine and green aventurine, and they look almost the same, but the shade is a little bit different. And then there's different colors of aventurine. Like, I have some beads that are like pink aventurine, yellow, peach, you know, purple, that sort of thing. As you know, the first step is realizing the problem. The second is accepting it. And the third is growing from it, you know, going through the motions. Okay, so this is 4. Waxing crescent 2, acceptance. Acceptance of the current situation is the first step to change. The past does not exist. The future hasn't happened. There is only right now. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I have not seen any dust particles, okay? And at the very beginning, I have seen what looks like orbs. They're real quick, they just run through. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I have been having contact with a spirit. I've not figured out her exact name. She's actually here with me right now, and I do know it starts with an A, and we've went through everything I can think of. So if anyone can think of an A name please let me know, because I have not figured out. She said it's not an old name, but she died in the 1800s, and where I live, this is the property that she lived on. She died at like 55, I think, and she had 3 children. She started having children young, about 15, and one of her children died before she did, but the other 2 were still alive. Anyway, so let's go on. I accept where I am and who I am right now. Choosing to accept ourselves fully in the position we are in enables us to take that next step towards growth. When we can plant our feet solidly into the earth and say, yes, here is exactly where I am and I accept this fully, then we can take the next steps confidently, honestly, and powerfully towards where we now wish to head. Accepting where we are right now in its fullness allows us to also accept that there may be some chaos in our change before there is full order again. This can be an exciting feeling rather than one that generates fear if we hold our new intentions clearly, and this is what I went through. Okay, so I was excited because I knew the greatness was coming, okay? I knew this. I've been seeing it for a while. I knew my twin flame was coming. I knew things were getting greater. I knew I was getting rid of my karmic partner, all that stuff, and financial issues. And even though I was going through some hard times, I tried to hold on to that future because I knew it was coming. So the stone is lepidolite, or what I used to call it when I first got interested in it reminds me of Pedialyte. I don't know why, so I called it lepidolite on purpose. So I have several of these. I don't know if I would ever. I got them to sell, and then I'm like, I gotta have them all because they're all a little different. But anyway, so that is acceptance, and the last card coming up is 5, and that's waning crescent 3 growth. This is the card I continuously got on readings for myself when I got this deck. And I'm like, dang it, I've already went through some crap and I've already grown, but I kept growing and kept growing and kept growing. And it happened very quickly for me. Like in a few years, I went through a whole lot of crap and I became a better person for it. If you knew me in the past, I was not a calm person. I was not a nice person. And I don't know how to explain it. Chaos followed me. Absolutely followed me. Like if I had another child, I would name it Chaos, because chaos always is a joke. Always followed me. Always. Ever since I can remember, it followed me. So anyway, yeah. My fingernails, I don't know how the polish is already messed up, so I'm trying not to show them. So this is growth, waxing crescent 3. So reject stagnancy to get unstuck. Take action. The choice to grow should be made. Expect growing pains when making huge changes. And that's why I was so scared when I read this card, okay? When expecting huge changes in your life. Change is a natural part of life and cannot be pushed against forever. Change should have aim and purpose. Be courageous. You will blossom. I choose growth. No matter how scary it is, y'all, it's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. Like I done a reading for someone, okay? And I spoke to her yesterday. Hello. And I seen it for her. Like I seen great things coming. I didn't really see her past. I could just see her future. And that's what was so great about it is forget all that crap. Like you're going to be a better person. That's what you're trying to do, right? That's what your goal is and she was forced to grow. And if we don't choose to grow, we'll be forced to grow. And that's exactly what happened to me too, hon. Exactly what happened to me. Okay, so think of a willow tree. Willows often grow on the sandy banks of highly shiftable and changeable rivers, yet they reach huge sizes. Successfully growing and holding fast is an unpredictable habit. How do they do this? When you see a young willow on the banks for a long while, it just looks like a feeble stick, which reminds me of a story I may tell you one day. Remind me, you guys, about the stick, okay? Okay, so it may have a few branches and leaves, but at first the trunk will be fine and flexible rather than robust. What we don't see immediately is the root base. The willow spends a lot of time establishing a veritable root city under the surface. These roots are long and strong and very numerous, finding their way into many nooks and crannies, holding onto rocks, other established tree roots, and anything that can help with their stability. It also reminds me of grounding. And that's something, as you're going through, you're growing, you're going to want to ground. Trust me. This is what she's doing in the photo. You see it in the card? She's taking root and she's grounding, and that's very important. We've discussed grounding before in a few videos. Okay, so anyway, where are we at? These roots. Okay, so these roots go off in all directions, thus scurrying their position just in case the earth begins to shift. Then and only then, once these root networks are established well enough, does the willow put its energy into further growth. The trunk begins to thicken and widen and harden and travel upwards to the sky. However, as they grow to the branches have little of the trunk's supportive thickness. They have instead the instruction that they must be flexible. Flexible means they can turn with the sun and survive punishing winds that might threaten to topple the rest of the tree. All of this growth is done with purpose and a divine strategy. The waxing lunar cycle calls for growth, but not growth without aim and purpose. When we understand our current position, accept it and decide to change, we will naturally grow as people. We might experience some growing pains. After all, transformation of any kind is rarely completely easy and trouble-free. Having a strong intention of what the results of our growth will be helps with gaining the courage and resilience to move forward with our growth and into the eventual blossoming of our true self. That stone is Shoroite. It is one of my favorite stones, and I will be selling that in my store. I also have a venturing, and you know, that one may not be jet. I had it out as jet, but it may be shungite. I have a tumbled shungite as well. So anyway, I just want to explain to you that I feel like this is going to be great because I feel like I don't know, I just feel like growth is very important, and it is. So the next portion is, I will explain to you the phases that we just went over and the type of magic you can do on this. We're going to start with waning since that's what we're finishing off. Okay, a waning moon is a wonderful phase for eradicating anything that may be causing problems. The most appropriate spells to cast at this time are those that solve unwanted situations such as harassment or issues with self-esteem. With the waning moon, we can finally begin to take control of our lives and improve our inner strength, working on assertiveness and facing fears. I had thought about just pre-recording this and keeping it for other videos, but I'm not going to do that. We'll re-record because our topic each month is different. Like this month is lucid dreaming, and in January is Book of Shadows. Okay, so cast spells for removing negative vibrations, blessing houses and clearing away negative energies, banishing enemies, stopping harassment in the workplace, standing up to bullies and stopping intimidation, bolstering courage and to stand strong, increasing willpower and determination, increasing assertiveness, manage evil influences, and calming anxieties. Then we're going to do the dark. I don't know why they got it in this order. It's like goes new and then dark. Okay, so now we're going to be discussing Dark of the Moon. This extremely powerful phase takes place at the tail end of a waning moon and shortly before a new moon, when the surface is almost completely cloaked in darkness. In the past, it was thought that those working with black magic or the darker forces would cast their spells at this time. There is no actual evidence of this, but to guard against anything negative, many witches avoid performing any rituals during the dark of the moon. If you are experienced in magic and want to bypass this tradition, you could try casting spells for the following: removing entities from houses or properties, banishing illness, divination, meditation and psychic visions, bringing about calm and peaceful results, conquering anger, and bringing about justice. I will agree that a lot of stuff can go on if you're doing magic in the house at that time, but that doesn't mean that you can't protect yourself and keep it from happening. New moon. This is a time to bring about a new beginning, casting off the old and bringing in the new. You can use this phase for literally anything that relates to change. Ordinarily, a waning moon is a good time to rid yourself of unwanted situation. But once the moon changes into the new phase, you can cast a spell to bring about a positive replacement. Cast spells for starting a new diet, conceiving a child, bringing about a positive result in legal matters, getting a new job or winning a promotion, passing a driving test, bringing about new love or romance, getting married. Always a nice phase in which to tie the knot. Changing a financial situation from bad to good, planning a nice holiday, travel overseas or inland, moving to a new house or dealing with real estate, communication, and better health. And I never thought about doing it this way, but when I do spells on Saturday, I didn't think about it, but I should probably keep them around the type of moon phase we're working on. And I've already got my schedule out a little bit, so please ignore that. We will, don't hold that against me. We'll start doing that, but I've already got the schedule out for a while, so I do apologize. This is the last phase that we're going to be going through for that week. So this is the waxing moon. This is a time for improving life and removing obstacles and blockages that stand in the way of progress. If you ever feel like you're in a rut or that significant oncoming changes are not happening quickly enough, then spells and rituals performed before the waxing moon will leave the way clear for moving forward. Anything associated with work, animals, or health-related issues will be successful. This is a positive moon phase, which usually helps solve problems and bring about desired results. So you can cast spells for issues or problems at work, healing and health difficulties, healing animals, money problems, or spells to bring in more cash, helping a business to grow, removing mental blocks in education, passing exams, and starting diets or breaking bad habits. Oh, there's more. Moving to a new house or dealings with real estate, growth, beginning new projects, and finding lost property. So that's it.